Hey guys, welcome back to ArxangelRC. Today we're going to take a look at the SJ7 Star action camera. Links are in the video description below. And I can tell you right now that it is a damn good piece of video equipment. Unlike my Firefly 6S, the SJ7 is a true 4K camera able to record a video with a resolution of 3840 by 2160 pixels rather than the weird 2880 by 2160 pixels that the Firefly 6S records and then tries to present it as the 4K option. A further comparison of the two cameras where I put them to record the exact same scene shows that the shadows on the SJ7 are a bit brighter and a bit more detail can be seen in the dark areas without overexposing the bright areas of the video. That alone shows me how much better the SJ7 is, and I haven't even gotten to the flying yet. The touchscreen on the back is super nice and bright and very responsive and can be easily seen even in broad daylight. The menu is very intuitive and settings are easy to understand and adjust. As usual, the camera comes with a ton of accessories, but I really only need the one thing that does not come in the set, the audio video out cable that we need to use this camera for FPV. True, some people will have it mounted right next to a pilot camera just for recording, but some, like me, would want to put it on a gimbal, either on a plane or a copter, and would want to be able to see the video from it in real time while flying. I did a few tests with some video cables I have from other cameras and none of them seemed to work, so I ended up ordering an original one. Cheapest one I found was on AliExpress for around $7, but I saw it a few places being sold for over $12 and not many places have it, which is really weird. Anyway, when the cable arrived, I quickly cut it up and made a cable that would allow me to power the camera and get video out via my Tech Mini 3D Pro gimbal. It is not the most beautiful solution, but it gets the job done. Good news is, this camera is pretty much the same weight and size as a GoPro camera, so it should be compatible with most gimbals out there. One thing you need to do first is to enable the audio video out and to set whether to output PAL or NTSC. With all settings stock or on auto, I mounted the camera on the gimbal on my XUAV Clouds, but since at that point I was still waiting for the FPV cable to arrive, I had no way to see what it was recording or to power it, and that resulted in the camera recording only 23 minutes of my flight, and certainly not the most interesting 23 minutes. However, I did find something peculiar. For a first test, I thought I'd give the 1080p 100 frames per second option a try, and to my surprise the recorded video was very grainy and noisy and I was really unhappy with the quality. Next time out I decided to change the ISO setting from auto to 100 and that actually fixed for the most part the grainy video, although it is still grainier than if I shot at 25 frames per second, but unlike 25 frames per second, the 100 and 200 frames per second options can be slowed down respectively 4 and 8 times without making the video choppy. And now I will give you a minute of peace to enjoy the slow motion as it is really impressive. Impressive, isn't it? That 720p at 200 frames per second makes for an amazing slow motion afterwards, but did you notice how the 720p footage looks squashed down? See here? Even the people look short and fat than they actually are. Not sure what that's about, but it is weird. Another weird thing is the 1080p 25 frames per second option. Here is the same scene shot in 4K 25 frames per second, then in 1080p 100 frames per second, and finally 1080p in 25 frames per second. What the hell is up with that crop? I didn't see an option in the menu to fix this, or the 720p squashed image size, and even though the 1080p 25 frames per second still can be used, the 720p just looks weird. I guess the camera just shoots some 4:3 video in that resolution option and then just squashes it down to make it 16:9 format. But 1080p at 100 frames per second works very well, and it is a higher resolution, and a 4x slowdown factor is more than enough. So I guess I'll stick to that option and the 4K at 25 frames per second, of course, with the latter being of an exceptional quality for an action camera. I don't think it lacks very much to be on par with a GoPro, and it is more than twice cheaper. Not a bad deal. Only thing you have to keep in mind is to use a fast micro SD card, as that 4K gets recorded at 60 megabits per second. In addition to the regular photo and video modes, the camera also has a few other shooting modes, like the self-timer photo burst, where it takes a few photos very quickly, as well as a video and photo time-lapse modes. When I got it, I actually let it record a time-lapse video for over 10 days of some flowers drying, using an external power supply, of course, and it did a really nice video. But I also noticed that even when taking one frame every 30 seconds, the camera was warm during the whole process. Measured temperatures were around 46-47 degrees centigrade, but I guess this is probably normal for a product like this. Good news is the camera's body is aluminum, so it helps dissipate that heat. Now I'm going to stop talking and let you enjoy some flight footage, which should speak for itself, from this camera mounted on the Mini 3D Pro gimbal on my XUAV Clouds. As usual, if you fancy any of the items featured in this video, I would appreciate your support for my channel should you choose to buy them via the links in the description below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Enjoy the rest of this video, and I will see you next time.